Welcome back to yet another episode of Crazy Questions. Happy New Year, you guys. I'm your host, Soulful, and one of he's a super funny dude, but just somebody I've known from also my past life, and he told me to ask this crazy question. So, crazy question is, now what do I do with that information? Let me tell you what it is. Lately, I've been living inside this quiet question that keeps showing up in ordinary moments, even when my friend asked me about it. And that question is, what do I do with that information now? You've ever been in a situation where someone just tells you something randomly and now you're stuck between, do I want to go down that rabbit hole? And if I do, is that the person to go down this rabbit hole with? Because I'm learning that not everything needs a response, but everything does something to you. So let me give you the story. I like to grab coffee in the morning, and I was grabbing coffee this morning. Well, not this morning, but one morning. And I heard my name. I'm in an island that nobody really knows me. So hearing my name out loud is still a little shocking. But I turned around and there she was, a woman I knew from my past. And when I say past, I meant from a totally entire other country. Not someone that I've known in this chapter of my life. So she looked at me for a very long time. We hugged. And then I can see her mind going a mile a minute trying to understand how to move forward in communicating with me. And she just blurted out, the world is falling apart, and so is my life. Like I said, no small talk, no warm-up. She paused, and then she even added, I feel like I'm going crazy. But something about that moment stopped me, because if you know me, I want to give an answer, I want to fix, I want to heal. But in that moment, I paused, because that wasn't just her question. That's the question so many of us are carrying around right now. We know too much, we see too much, we feel too much. And knowing doesn't come with instructions. And yes, I listened. I didn't try to fix her, but I stood there with her listening between the hum of the espresso machine and the background noise in the coffee shop and realizing how often life hands us truths without telling us what to do next. But that question kept following me for the rest of the day. Like when someone randomly sends me photos or moments of a version of myself that they are revisiting, and I ain't there. So I wondered in those moments also, what do I do with that information? Do I step back into something I've already grown past just to make someone else feel connected, or do I honor who I am now, even if it disappoints them? Or I remember when someone just randomly say, I'm an atheist. I'm like, okay, what do I do with that now? Or wait, the biggest of all time in this time is, I effing love Trump. I love what he's doing. And suddenly I'm holding all this information that could turn into debates. It could be a fracture moment or a moment bigger than what it needs to be. And that question becomes, do I respond to that statement? Or do I respond to the human standing in front of me? Because not every truth requires a rebuttal. Not every difference requires a defense. Some moments are crossroads, and how you respond determines what happens next. I know I've been taught that having information means you're obligated to react, to correct, to educate, to explain. Maybe not. Maybe maturity is recognizing when a response could turn into something heavier than the relationship can hold. Not everything needs to be carried forward. Not every truth needs to be met with your truth in return. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do with information is choose restraint. Choose curiosity over combat, presence over performance. And sometimes you choose silence, not because you have nothing to say, but because you understand what's at stake. If you've come to these roads, hit me up. Subscribe, like, share, do all that fancy stuff that people do on YouTube. But I appreciate you guys for keep following me. I hate the word follow. I think we're just in a community of understanding. So stay weird and stay true to you.